Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and I think we can all safely agree that the Super Mario Bros. Movie looks awesome. Like, what do you think about Chris Pratt's voice notwithstanding? It looks like a good movie. It visually captures Mario. Most of the other cast, most people agree, sound great. I won't lie, I actually don't mind Mario's voice. I'll explain why at a different time, maybe at the end of this video, I don't know. The point is, it's shaping up to be arguably the best video game movie ever made, which is long overdue considering video game movie history, especially the previous Mario movie. But Illumination Studios, the company behind like Minions and whatnot, behind the Mario movie, may be working on another Nintendo property, according to this article. Exclusive Legend of Zelda movie in development from Illumination. Now, I know it says exclusive. That being said, I don't imagine that something like that would drop on giant freaking robots, so I'm still going to treat this as a rumor, treat it as, something with a grain of salt, but let's read through here, maybe my mind will be changed. Our sources at Illumination, the same studio behind the Super Mario Bros. Movie, is developing an animated movie adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. Now, it says our sources. Now, I don't know what their sources are. Maybe they're accurate. Maybe they're not. Like I said, it seems strange that Giant Freaking Robot, of all things, would get this exclusive, but maybe their source, works exclusively with them, and that's why. But let's read through here and see. The greatest hero of Hyrule is finally on his way to the big screen. Our trusted and proven sources tell us Illumination, the same studio behind projects like the Despicable Me franchise and the upcoming The Super Mario Bros. Movie, is developing an animated The Legend of Zelda movie. Assuming it eventually makes it to the big screen, it will be the very first film adaptation of the franchise. Now, all this sounds well and good. I do think that Legend of Zelda is actually probably a harder franchise to do than Super Mario Bros. Mainly because Mario talks, and even though in games he only has "Wahoo!" and "Let's go," like just the general small clips, we're very well aware that the character can speak. I am actually in the camp that I would love a Super Mario. I would love a Legend of Zelda movie. I would prefer it be live action myself, and I would genuinely like this to stick to Link not talking. I know that can be difficult to do, but with all the other characters talking, I think it would be interesting. I think you can make silent protagonists work with films like Hardcore Henry. Like, we've seen it before, but also that would be a much more adult-oriented movie, probably, and I don't know if kids would enjoy it. So, I don't know. It's kind of a slippery slope. We're going to keep reading. I'll give my final thoughts or additional thoughts as we go, but I'm not opposed to a Legend of Zelda movie. I just don't know if doing it, with Illumination in the same sort of tone as the Super Mario Bros. Movie is how I think Legend of Zelda should be treated. With everything from Fallout to Mass Effect to Tetris getting adapted into either a film or TV series, the time for a Legend of Zelda movie is certainly ripe. The most recent entry, 2017's open world The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, has been unashamedly touted as the best game ever made. That is so far from the truth. It's not even the best Zelda game ever made, including in Japan, according to Game Informer. With the franchise's popularity reaching new peaks, a trip to the big screen was inevitable. The biggest surprise is that, again, presuming the movie is ever produced, that it's taken this long for the Legend of Zelda movie to get made. Well, that's not a surprise at all. Nintendo is very, very stingy with their IPs, and to be fair, for good reason. Look at what happened when, non-Nintendo individuals took a stab at Nintendo products. We had the Super Mario Bros. Movie from the 90s. We had the Zelda CDI games. Nintendo is understandably pretty tight-gripped on their IPs. I can't believe Detective Pikachu got made and was as good as it was. So, yeah, I don't know that I don't know that it's a surprise that it's taken this long, like this article claims, but the first game was released in Japan in 1986 and North America the following year, to massive success. The Zelda franchise has since produced a total of 19 games, with the 20th, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, scheduled to come out in May. While this will be the first Legend of Zelda movie, there was a not well-loved animated series in 1989. What? No, I love this series. I won't even lie. I unironically think that this is great. Is it dated? Is it hokey? Yeah, of course, but so many shows from that time period were. To me, this perfectly encapsulates, 80s video game culture aimed at kids in a TV show. This and the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. I, to this day, love them both. The show was loosely based on the events of the first game, but ultimately only produced 13 episodes. In spite of it not being released until April, Illumination's The Super Mario Bros. Movie continues to receive criticism for casting Chris Pratt in the voice of Mario, and the Legend of Zelda movie could face criticism for anyone being cast as the voice of Link. While the sword-wielding hero does not speak in the games, players never hear his voice, thereby making it easier to put themselves in his shoes. One of the criticisms of the 1989 animated series is that the hero was given a voice, performed by Jonathan Potts, which was a disconnect. No! Okay. This is inherently wrong. I'm going to squash this now. The fact that they're typing this makes me completely suspect of anything they have to say. No video game characters had voices in 1989. No Nintendo characters did. The technology wasn't there. Give me a game from the Super Nintendo or the regular Nintendo Entertainment System that had voice acting. You can't, because it didn't exist. You had sound effects, and you maybe had like little ohs and ah, but that's not a voice. Link has always done that, or at least has for the majority of his gaming career. That is not something that in the 80s, in the late 80s and early 90s, fans are upset about. Like, oh, they gave Link a voice. There wasn't talking in video games back then. Maybe some early PC games, but Legend of Zelda was never a PC product, so that's neither here nor there. This is entirely inaccurate. It seems completely made up just for lengthening out this article. That is, I mean, maybe you could criticize it now in hindsight, but in that criticism still doesn't make sense. I can't believe they gave Link a voice. You could say the same about Mario. I can't believe in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show they gave Mario a voice. He doesn't talk in the games. Well, yet no one talked in games. At least Legend of Zelda had subtitles for things being said, which even the original Mario didn't have. Well, I guess that's not true. Toad had lines, subtitles. Your princess is in another castle. And maybe Peach did at the end. I don't remember. One solution could have already been suggested from an unexpected source. Actor Gaten Matarzo, better known for the hero Dustin on Stranger Things, recently talked about hoping not only to eventually see an animated Legend of Zelda movie, but that the studio would make the film setting a vocally silent world. I almost covered this, actually. I didn't read the article. This was several days ago. Yes, the guy that plays Dustin in Stranger Things was talking about wanting to see a Legend of Zelda film being made, and I clicked on the article and thought, you know what, this could make for a fun video. And for whatever reason, I didn't make it. Now I'm kind of bummed I didn't make that video because it could have tied in so nicely to this one. Matarzo's vision had the film's visuals and musical score doing all the heavy lifting. That's actually that's a good idea. I like that idea. I don't know, again, how it would work for kids, but then again, are kids still interested in things like Tom and Jerry? If you could sit a kid down and have them watch Tom and Jerry and they'd be entertained, it's really no different there. It would definitely be a more artistic project than the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I'll give it that, but I don't know if studios would be willing to take risks like that. It's far too early to tell exactly what kind of concept Illumination will go with in the Legend of Zelda movie, but a film in which none of the characters speak seems a little too outside the box for folks behind Despicable Me and The Secret Life of Pets. Yeah, like I said, studios probably aren't going to give that a chance. But who knows? Faced with the difficulty of adapting such a world in the big screen, maybe they'll listen to Matarzo's advice. Or maybe they'll just cast Chris Pratt as Link. Okay, I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole of that joke. Yeah, I don't know. All in all, like I said, I would like to see a Legend of Zelda movie. I do think it should be live action. I think the world of Hyrule is so entrenched in high fantasy that I don't want it like dark and gritty like a Lord of the Rings film. But I also don't want it as I don't want to say bright and vibrant, because bright and vibrant does work for at least aspects of Hyrule. I don't want it as child-centrically aimed as what it seems like Super Mario Bros. May be. Now, obviously adults are going to love Super Mario Bros. Because of nostalgia growing up with it. It truly is a multi-generational film. That's why I agree with Geeks and Gamers when Jeremy says that the film is going to make, $1 billion. I can actually see Mario making $1 billion. Legend of Zelda, while it's definitely up there in regards to the caliber and history of gaming, it's such a different sort of world and experience that you might lose something in trying to make it very kid-friendly like the Mario Brothers. It's a whimsical story and it's a whimsical world, but it's still definitely got more stakes. The stakes are always inherently higher, and it's always more dangerous, more threatening. So if Illumination can balance that, then it works. Like I said, I don't want to see Link with a voice, but by the same token, I'm open to various ideas. Like I said, I like Chris Pratt as Mario. And before y'all unsubscribe, let me explain why. You guys think of Mario as woohoo and yippee, here we go, Charles Martinet. And I love Charles Martinet. I met him at a con last year. He signed my GameCube. Like, it was amazing. I love Charles Martinet's Mario. But you gotta remember, Mario didn't have a voice until 64. My introduction to Mario was the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, where he talked like a Brooklyn, New Yorker, plumber, tough guy. So, to me, that was always Mario's voice. Until I got used to Mario having that sort of voice around the Super Mario Sunshine era, I didn't actually care for Martinet as Mario. Because to me, it was weird. It was off-putting. When you've grown up listening to Mario sound like,
I can't quit now, Luigi. I was born with a plunger in my hand.
I know. Boy was awfully hard on Mom.
then yeah, Charles Martinet would be off-putting. Nowadays, we all know it. He is Mario. He is definitely Mario. But my first introduction to Mario with a voice was the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. So to me, that was Mario. And I think that Link having a voice is actually, giving him a voice in the movie might work better than Chris Pratt, just because we don't have anything to base it off of. Whereas with Mario, we've got different generational conflicts of what we think of his voice as. I don't know. All in all, I would love to see Legend of Zelda film. I think I would like to see one from Illumination, but hopefully more information comes from this. I'm still thinking at the end of the day that this is just a rumor, and I'm not going to put too much stock in it, especially if we see the Mario film underperform. I think a lot of this hinges on how well Mario does. But let me know what you think in the comments below about Mario's voice, about Link having a voice, about a Zelda movie, how you'd like to see it done, or you can let me know on Twitter at BoltTheWord. Also, please like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel in 2023, so it would mean the world to me. It would really high rule. Haha, see what I did there? Yeah, subscribe for more awesome jokes like that. And until next time, this has been Words of Paradise.